Well, hello, I'm Dr. Julia Royston, BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, Book Business Boss Consulting, and For the Kingdom Ministries, where I'm always seeking on this Sunday morning is to build people, to build the kingdom, building people to build the kingdom. This is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it. So, I saw a video recently and it really stuck with me. It really pricked my heart and really, really stayed with me. And I often, Brian, as you know, my husband and I, Brian, travel a great deal. And, his job, I always say he's the travel agent. And so he usually asks me, when are we going? Where are we going? What time are we leaving? How long are we going to be there? What's the schedule? He usually pretty much is very thorough. And so, therefore, so he's my travel agent. And even like the week of, the day of, he's made the reservations. He's checking the calendar. When does the plane leave? Where are we going? Where do we land? Um, how far is it away from the hotel? How far is it away from the venue? And knowing what time of, day it is, what the time zone is. I mean, just all of that. And so I saw a video and I really didn't see but a portion of it, but what the young woman was talking about. And she said, God had told her that at this particular event, I think they were in North Carolina, Charlotte, maybe, and specifically to tell the people of that were in the room, it wasn't necessarily a church setting, it was a business setting, but I believe faith-based, but that they should refer to First Chronicles 12 and have the spirit of Issachar. And the spirit of Issachar, I've referenced this many times, not the scripture and not the people, specifically the specific tribe, but I've talked about that there was a portion of the children of Israel, and now I know exactly, specifically the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do, had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. And so as I, just doing my research and all of that, I realized Issachar, of course, was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob, but it was just like amazing of all the times that the tribe of Issachar was utilized. And I guess we haven't had enough, preaching about it. I hadn't done enough research on it. So there was opportunity for me to be able to learn more about the children of Issachar. But one of the things that really stood out is when it's time to go to war, when it was time to go to battle, the children of Issachar were usually somewhere around. All the 12 tribes of Israel, were, three on the east, three on the west, three in the north and south as they were traveling through the desert. But the children of Issachar were always, when it was ready for warfare, ready for battle, they were ready. They had strong men, knowledgeable men, and when even the 12 tribes were broken up and three over here, and, there's always division, some kind of way the enemy already jumps in. Issachar still said, no, we stand with God. We stand with David. We stand with our original covenant with God. And so, the biggest thing that in my mind, when you understand the times and seasons, and sometimes when you get a jump start or a head start, or if you know the inside track of something, especially if you're a faith-based person, you're asking God. You're seeking to be in his presence, and not only just in his presence, but listen to his voice. Because some people are in his presence, but they're doing all the talking. And God, I need that. And Christmas is coming, and Thanksgiving, and I needed this and I needed that. But sometimes it's not so much your Santa Claus or your to-do list. It's listening for what God is telling for you to do, and then actually obeying it. I was recently on the phone with someone, and they were talking about, I try to keep doing it my own way. And I said, it don't work for you. It's not working out. And so, sometimes those things don't work out specifically because you don't do it God's way. You're brave enough to do it your way, but you're not, as they say, smart enough to do it God's way. You don't have the bravery because it looks like God's way is so much more scary. Sometimes it does. Why do you need God? Why do you need faith if you can do it on your own? So you're seeking to do something that you can think you can work in your own strength. You can walk in your own ability, but God's way is going to take him. It's going to take his leading. It's going to take his guidance. And I believe that's one of the most important things in this season, no matter where you are on the spectrum. And I'm not into politics to talk about it on this platform at all. I have an opinion, but I'm not talking about it here. But more importantly, times and seasons that we're in right now should drive you back to God. That's number one. It should drive you to, sometimes there's smoke and mirrors going on, and and your distractions, and ooh, that happened, and ooh, that happened, ooh, that's awful. So, but I believe above all, God's trying to teach us something. And the number one thing is seek ye first the kingdom. Seek ye first my ways. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your path. And sometimes that means maybe hurting people's feelings, saying no when you would have made the sacrifice to say yes. But sometimes it's not the time for that. So knowing what the direction is, knowing what the time of the season that you're in. At this recording, of course, it's the fourth quarter. It's the end of 2025. Now, whenever you hear the replay, fine. But the season that it's currently being recorded in is in the fourth quarter. It's the fourth quarter. It's the end. It's how you're going to finish this year strong. How are you going to not only finish this year strong, but if the Lord tarries and hadn't returned and you still live, how are you going to move forward for 2026? Was there some things that you should have done that you didn't do? Was there some things that you should not be doing and you continue to do them just because it's tradition, just because it's a lot to think about. It's a lot. And sometimes, you want to be loyal, you want to be consistent, but consistency and loyalty of something that's not in the will of God is killing you. It may be not killing you physically, but it's killing you spiritually because you're being drained. Your energy, your efforts, your resources, your money, your time, your effort is all being drained. And when it's time for him, he's going to bless you in spite of it. Gifts and callings come without repentance. If he said it, he's going to do it, but you may not have the full capacity to receive it. And some things you think, oh, I'm too late. No, you may not be too late. You may just have to wait until he can't do it until you're ready. You're in position. So number one, you got to ask God. And then number two, just like Brian asked me, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What is the time? And that's the children of Issachar, because they knew the understanding of the times, the seasons, the time of the day, the time to work, the time to play, the time to sleep, the time to rest. What time, what is the time? What's the time? If I tell him, oh, this is an early one. Some events that we go to are early in the morning. Some, they have early sessions. So they open the exhibit hall at 7 a.m. They close the exhibit hall between 4 and 5. Some are later. Some are long. Some are 9 and to 9 p.m. Oh, or outside 9 to. That's rough for me, but it's an opportunity because this is the time to sell. This is the window of opportunity. This is the operations time. This is the time that has been set aside, that's been allotted, that has not only the time for you to be there, but your customers will be there. Sometimes they're before you. Now that's for business people. Sometimes it gives you a window of time to work a job, and he says it's time to quit it. Now I have done that. I've actually had him tell me to quit a job, and it was the most favorite job I ever had. And he said, quit and go home. Oh, I packed bags slowly. I didn't move as quick as he said, but I moved. I still moved within 4 months of what he said it. And it was hard. It was difficult. Oh, that was almost painful. But it was time, his time, not my time. Because my time should have been stay there 30 years and make it happen. But it wasn't God's time. My time at that corporate job was up. God said to close the window, shut it down. Fortunately, I understood after it was over. He didn't tell me at that time, but I understood after it was over why. The time of some relationships end. Sometimes I hold on long. I'm loyal, so sometimes I hold on longer than I should, and it's can be very, very painful because it should end and close, and I'm like, but no, and no still means no. So ask God. Ask, what time is it? What time? What time is it? Is it time for it to be over? Time for it to start? Time for it never to begin? Time for it to continue? Time for you to put more emphasis? Time for you to put less? Time for you to go hard in the paint, as he told me, and then he's saying next time it's time for you to be on cruise control. I don't know what that looks like. I told that to my mother not long ago. She goes, don't worry about it. He knows. Don't worry about it. He knows what cruise look like. I'm like, because, when you used to going 100 miles an hour, you say cruise, and you're like, it's almost stopped. But no, when Brian, he loves cruise control. So if he puts it on cruise control at 75 miles an hour, he's still moving pretty quickly. He doesn't have to put as much effort. So that's what I'm praying. That means I'm still going to be moving, but I won't have to do as much. That's what I'm praying God for. And then what to do next. What to actually do next. What time it is, to know what Israel ought to do. What to do next. What should you have been doing and you ignored it? Disobedience, that's a hard place to be in. But I think it's a hard place to be doing too much. He didn't even ask all of that, and you just went above and beyond. He's the only one that says I can do exceedingly abundantly, but he's asking you for a thing, and you just doing too much. You filling your plate. In the next year, he's asked me not to fill my calendar as much as I have. He said, only do what's necessary. So therefore, I have to obey that, because I don't know what door he's getting ready to open, what opportunity is going to come, what need is going to be of my time. And I have said so many yeses, I don't have time for the real yes, or the real opportunity, or the real place I should be. Because I filled it, stacked it, packed it in. But that's what so what should you be doing next? But this is the key. You got to go back and ask him. Sorry, you got to go back and ask him. Got to seek him. Ask him. Go for it. Ask him for directions so you can know. You can't know on your own. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He's omnipotent. He's omniscient. He's the one who knows everything. The beginning to the end. He said, I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He knows everything and all that ugly middle in between. So you got to ask him. And then you got to do it. And what to do next. I hope that helps you today. I hope that spirit of Issachar and that spirit of that tribe just take over you so that you know the understanding of your times. And when someone, so that you have high-end discernment, say, yes, that's something I should receive. Excuse me. No, that's something I reject. I reject that thought. I reject that idea. I reject that from my life. And sometimes it's not a bad thing. People, I reject sin. Yeah. Reject anything that's not like God. But some things are just good opportunities. They're not God opportunities. They're good opportunities. And you think, I could, And then you get out there and you realize, it asked for more than I could give. It needed more from me than I either wanted to give or should give. It has nothing to do with sin. But if you're in a place out of position of what God wants to take you and bless you, that's pretty bad too. I hope that helps you. Hope that blesses you today. That the spirit of the children of Issachar rest, rule, and abide with you, so you understand the times and the seasons. Now, it's all in certain times going to look evil, and it's going to be, but there's, what David say? I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Never seen the righteous. We have to walk in that. No weapon formed against us. Every tongue that rises against, God said in judgment, I condemn. We are his. And he is ours. He still is Jehovah Jireh. He's still our provider. He's still He's still providing. May not be providing what you want, but you won't go hungry. You don't be like the children of Israel in the desert, in the wilderness. Manna, what is it? And it came every day. Every day. And nobody had a shortage. It was for our daily bread. So some things we eat, some things we have, and you're like, I really won't. And then they wanted all the onions and leeks and all that stuff back in Egypt. But give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our opportunity. Open up the door. Help me to be ready. Help me to say yes. Help me to be what you call me to be, so that I can live my best life, the one that Jesus came and died and bled and rose again for. Live your best life, coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com, where praise meets talk. And then 11 a.m., the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And the Book Business Boss show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on envision-radio.com, and the replays at the Book Business Boss Podcast.com, the Book Business Boss Podcast.com. Find Julia Royston books in these physical stores: the Next Chapter Bookstore in Greensboro, North Carolina, Brew and Sip Coffee Bar in Louisville, Kentucky, Gardner Reading Closet, 8601 East 10th Street in Indianapolis. Janami Books, these are where the mobile bookstores are. So find them on social media, Janami Books and More. That's GYENYAME Books and More. Book Nerd Fam, mobile bookstore, and the Amazing Corner.com online bookstore. So just in time for the holidays, book bundle boxes, children and adults. Go to RoystonRoyalBookstore.com, RoystonRoyalBookstore.com. You all be blessed. I do have another course. Any self-study courses are available at JuliaRoystonStore.com, JuliaRoystonStore.com. Copyright, if you want to do that on your own. The speak about and speak from your book. I've got all kinds of study courses and all kinds of books and things of the nature. Go to JuliaRoystonStore.com. You all be blessed in all that you do, and have a blessed day. Seek God, and He will give you the directions so that you can know the times and know exactly what you're supposed to do. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. My prayer today, tomorrow, always, that you live your best life. Be blessed. Have a great week. Bye-bye.